thinking.
Welcome back. With me now is Don Brannam, Director of St. Charles County Government's Information Systems Department. Don, thanks for coming in.
You're welcome, Bob.
Don, the internet and computers are such a big part of today's lives, and it seems like you can't go very long without hearing some sort of concern over internet security and safety. And concerning our children, is an internet access a good thing?
Yes, it's not only a good thing, it's become almost a necessity for their education. So many resources are available to children online. Even the schools have their libraries online and course curriculums and things like that online. So it's become almost a necessity for them. What you do need to do, though, is to use it smartly and to use it wisely, to do things to keep your children safe on the internet, because there are a lot of dangers lurking out there.
So what are these dangers and what can we do to keep it safe?
Well, one of the biggest things you can do is just have your children and their computers visible. I always tell people to have the computer in a common area in the home where they can be aware of what their children are doing online, where, the dining room, kitchen, a living room area, a family area where they can see what's happening. I think it's always dangerous when the computer's in the basement or back in the kids' room or something like this, but it's just because there are dangers out there. There are many bad websites, there's bad software programs that can be installed on the computer, and there's a lot of things they can get into if you don't be careful.
So the biggest thing a parent can do is make it visible where they can see it and have these type of controls on the computer. Now, what's available for that?
Well, sure. There are basically parental software that's out there now that will allow you to control what your child can and cannot see. Most of the major internet service providers provide those to you free of charge. They actually go through and look at websites and rate them, so you can set the controls to where a child can only go to websites that are rated a certain way. They can also monitor what your child does on the internet, so you can go back and see where they've been to. Another good thing, especially for younger children, is for the parents to actually set favorites and set bookmarks and stuff on the computer where their sites are and where they're going to, because a search engine can deceive you sometimes. When you search for something, if you remember back a few years ago when people would search for White House, and whitehouse.gov was a bad site. So that's one thing you can do too, and is basically preset the sites where they can go and put bookmarks on their farm, and then they basically won't be having to use the search engines if they do. And if they do go to a bad site, they need to back out. It's easy for them to make a mistake and get to it, and parents need to keep that in mind as well.
So in a lot of homes and children today using laptop and wireless technology, is the same type of security available in those types?
Oh, sure, sure. And you can buy antivirus and firewalls and everything, and most of the major packages do contain that for wireless now as well. So it's just, if you're using a wireless connection in your home, it's probably as far as access to the internet and protection of programs coming in from the internet as safe as it is on a hardwired system. It's just you need to have it set up and you need to have it password controlled and protected.
And even newer than that now, even the cell phones can get internet access and be aware that it's an expensive thing, and maybe a lot of the younger ones don't have it, but it is out there.
Oh yeah, you can definitely do internet on your cell phone now, and you're correct. It's not a big problem yet because it is expensive. So most parents aren't purchasing data packages for their children, but there is software available for that as well. It's also easy to reset. A phone is much easier to reboot and bring back to a normal condition as a home computer. So it's a danger, but it hasn't become a big problem that I've seen yet.
So as a parent, you're monitoring it, and you find that there's some site like the White House that's a bad site. What should a parent do? Should they discover something like that?
Well, number one, talk to your children. Tell them to if they come across or something like that, to let you know, and you can block it. And if your filter is set up properly, your internet filter is set up properly, the parental controls we were talking about earlier, it should block them from getting to that site. But that doesn't mean they won't stumble on one, but you just teach them to back out of it and then let you know. You can notify the ISP or the software provider, and they will update their software. I mean, another thing is ensure your computer is set correctly for security updates and for software updates, because these sites pop up overnight, and there's thousands of them out there. So you want to make sure your software is updated. Most of the internet providers right now push out information almost every 15, 20 minutes in some cases. I believe Norton Internet Security will push out pulse updates, so you're getting updates every 10 minutes. I think that's kind of overkill for most families, but in a business environment or something, it's useful.
Good. So now on the virus end of it, virus protection seems to be very good these days as opposed to it was in the past. Anything new on that front for?
Oh, it is. Most of the viruses now are protected. We try to block them as they come in, as opposed to after they're infected on your system. You still may get some like that. A child may bring a DVD home from school or something home from school that's infected, or receive an email that graphics are a great place to hide viruses. So they'll have a picture of something, they'll open it and it can get affected. But most of the virus software does catch it at that level now. Spyware is probably your biggest danger out there still, because so many, especially when you get in the teenage years, children go to music sites or go to a site and they willingly accept and agree to allowing the spyware to be installed on the computer. So you need to also, as a parent, know what's on your computer, know the programs that are on your computer. If you see a program that you didn't install on there or you don't know what it is, delete it and get it off of there.
So know what's on it and check it regularly.
Yes, sir.
Anything else, Don, that the parent can do that could, or the owner itself, to keep it safe and secure?
Like I said, be aware, keep your security up to date. So have security updates, set. Make sure you have your passwords and stuff set for your wireless networks, and make sure that your children are aware of the dangers that are out there.
Don, thanks a lot for the information. That's all we have time for now. Join us next time for more information to keep you safe and sound.